What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Janibek Alimkhanuly versus Steven Butler, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBO middleweight championship. And this fight was Saturday, May 13th, from the Stockton Arena in Stockton, California. And this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or in the ESPN app. And in this fight, Janibek Alimkhanuly successfully defended his WBO World Championship by brutally finishing off Steven Butler in the second round. So after one round, I had it 10-9 in favor of Janibek. But yeah, the way this fight finished was kind of crazy. So the first round, Janibek really dictated the pace of the fight. Landed a nice little left hand in the first round. But really the first round was more of a feel-out round. But I could tell Janibek won it, was more active. Steven Butler was more just moving around, trying to get out of the way of shots and find openings. But definitely a round for Janibek. But then in the second round, towards the end of it, it was looking more like the same with the first. But then towards the end, Janibek landed a massive left uppercut that wobbled the legs of Steven Butler. His legs were like spaghetti. Janibek jumped on him and then dropped him with some nice combinations. But when Steven Butler got up, I thought the referee was going to stop it. His legs were so wobbly when the referee was telling him to walk over to him. He was stumbling and bumbling around the ring. His legs were literally like jello. And for some reason, the referee let it continue on. Steven Butler was still running around the ring, getting hammered with shots. And at one point, he was just like trying to throw back, but his legs were just gone. So he was just throwing himself off balance. I mean, his legs were gone. He was just moving around, trying to keep his base up against the ropes. He was getting hit with shots from Janibek. He slipped, went down because his legs were so wobbly. For some reason, the referee didn't call it a knockdown. But then he got dropped again with more of a barrage from his legs being so hurt from that initial uppercut, which started the attack. And then for some reason, the referee didn't stop it after that second knockdown, even though his legs were so wobbly again. The referee told him that he has to show him something. He has to defend himself, but that is not what Steven Butler did. He went back out there, was just stumbling and bumbling around. Janibek jumped on him, landed a massive right hand, and Butler got knocked out, flat in his back. I don't really think he was knocked out cold, but he landed flat in his back. It was a beautiful shot from Janibek to close the fight. A very explosive fight compared to the co-main event. But yeah, with this second round knockout, Janibek was like a 30-1 favorite in this one, so it was much expected. But this goes into question: what is next for Janibek Alimkhanuly? So he's now 14-0. I believe he has 9 knockouts now. Still the WBO world champ. For him, I think he's gonna have another one of these fights that are kind of similar to this. Like before this, he fought Denzel Bentley. Here he fought Steven Butler. And I know the Bentley fight was a much tougher fight, but I think he's going to be fighting guys who are consistently ranked in the WBO. I don't really see him unifying in his next fight. Maybe in the next year or two he'll unify. But, I mean, for him, I think he'll face someone who's like top 15 ranked in the WBO, just like he's been doing, defending his title on Top Rank. And after this solid performance, I think they'll try and maybe make it a tougher fight than this one, because I think this fight was just to show that Janibek is still named to not be messed with, because his last fight against Denzel Bentley wasn't that great. So this one was kind of just to show that. But I think in his next one he'll face another decently ranked WBO contender that'll probably give him a decent fight, or it could be one like this. Who knows? But as for Steven Butler, I mean, he was expected to get destroyed in this fight, and that's exactly what happened. So for him, I think he's going to go back to Canada and fight in his, I believe he fights for, Eye of the Tiger Promotions or something. So I think he'll be fighting on their cards in Canada, maybe getting another opportunity in the near future as an opponent like this, or against some other decent level fighters on one of these big promotions. But otherwise, I think he's going back to Canada, taking on some lower opposition in his next few fights. So overall, Janibek Alimkhanuly remains undefeated and remains the WBO world champion, knocking out Steven Butler in the second round. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.